just a casual hug, and she immediately sensed that her best friend's kidneys and liver were not in good shape. As her friend poured out her troubles, Lucy used a computer to rapidly study all theoretical knowledge related to brain development. When she finally finished learning the theories, she used telekinesis to call Professor Norman, a world-leading brain scientist. The professor clearly couldn't believe she'd gotten through over 6,000 of his papers in just a few minutes. Lucy offered to recite them to him on the spot, and told him to meet her at once. The professor was stunned. Lucy projected herself onto the TV screen, and told the professor she had absorbed a large amount of synthetic CPH4, and her brain utilization rate had reached 28%. This proved the professor's theory. Once the brain reaches 20% utilization, it will break all barriers like dominoes. Lucy said she could no longer feel pain, fear, desire, or other such emotions, and even her humanity was gradually fading away. She was lost, and sought the professor's advice. The professor pointed out, the entire purpose of life is to pass on the knowledge one has learned. There is no higher goal. Thus, she should, like any simple cell, pass on her knowledge. At that moment, the professor completely enlightened Lucy. She not only had to pass knowledge to humanity, but also figure out how to break the shackles of time. She told the professor she would come to him in 12 hours. She rushed to the airport, and used telekinesis to make a call, contacting the local police chief in Paris. Lucy ordered the police chief to sit down immediately, and write down every word she said. She told him 3 criminals carrying a large amount of drugs would soon transit through the airport to Paris. She ordered the police to arrest the criminals, and wait for her to fly over. The police chief was utterly incredulous, but when he followed Lucy's instructions to pull up the criminals' information, he found them at the airport as expected. The police immediately arrested the 3 criminals on the spot. Meanwhile, Lucy boarded the plane. She was rapidly absorbing all of humanity's knowledge from the internet, mastering it all in just a few minutes. Her brain development soared to 40% in an instant, but then a bizarre scene unfolded. Her teeth began to fall out, and her skin started to fester. At that moment, she remembered the professor's theory. If the environment is not favorable enough, cells will choose immortality. She ran to the bathroom. Because of her drastically increased brain utilization, her body could no longer maintain its normal physical form. Nearly reaching a critical state, she quickly retrieved the remaining CPH4, and devoured it all in a frenzy. Soon her appearance began to recover, but then her body disintegrated into ash and smoke. The plane soon landed at Paris airport. Police officer Rio learned from the flight attendants about the strange changes in Lucy's body. Doctors told Rio Lucy was in a coma, unaware that after the boost from the CPH4, Lucy's brain development had skyrocketed to 50%, allowing her to restructure and control her molecular structure, and rebuild her body. When she was about to escape from the hospital, the corridor was already surrounded by countless police officers.